Joining us right now to talk about all of this is Democratic Congressman Mike Quigley of Illinois. Thanks for being here, Congressman. Let's talk about what happened over the weekend first. Were you surprised about Bill Cassidy? Bill Cassidy out.
No, I'm not surprised. It's unfortunate. I'm not cheering for Cassidy. I'm not cheering for Mr. Massey. I disagree with them on just about everything. But we do need a healthy two-party system. We do need Republicans to be able to be independent when they need to be. On the issue of Ukraine, the majority of Republicans in the House would support a supplemental to help our Ukrainian friends. I do believe a majority would support war powers limiting the president's activities in Iran, but they're afraid of him. They also don't challenge the president on other Article 1 powers that Congress controls. And as a result of that, the president has far more power than he should have. The acts of a tyrant allowed because they're all afraid of Trump.
Well, on Thomas Massey, someone who you definitely don't see eye to eye with on many things, specifically and especially probably funding and support for Ukraine. He is facing an unusual situation today, which is the Secretary of Defense is heading down to Kentucky to campaign against him. And look, everyone can walk and chew gum at the same time if they want, but can the same be said for the Defense Secretary who's going to Kentucky today to campaign while in the midst of helping the president carry out this war in the Middle East and carrying out a campaign against ISIS now in Nigeria?
Look, the fact of the matter is he's in way over his head, inexperienced person who's making rash decisions, not just in the Middle East, but as I believe we've seen recently in Europe with our NATO allies, Germany, the hasty decision to reverse a decision as troops were starting to be deployed in Poland, further alienating a country that the president called a perfect ally. So sure, there's plenty of time to go out and campaign to go after somebody who disagrees with you on a few things. And again, Thomas Massey is no friend of democracy or good government. But the fact of the matter is, when he dissents, sometimes that's important, as he did with the Epstein files. So I don't have to like my Republicans friends on the issues, but I have to appreciate the fact that when they dissent, it does help our democracy on issues like Epstein files, as Marjorie Taylor Greene did. It doesn't always have to be us against them. Sometimes we can do important things like fund our governments together. It's hard to do when they're just so afraid of this president.
When you put all that together and when you take all of those things into consideration, are you hoping Massey wins his primary then?
It's hard to say I cheer for Mr. Massey to win anything. I am going to cheer for Republicans being able to dissent. Illinois' own Adam Kinzinger showed a lot of courage, and look what that got him. The fact of the matter is, again, I don't have to agree with my Republican friends all the time. I do have to work with them to try to get some things done. We passed Act for ALS with the most bipartisan co-sponsorships 5 years ago. It was an important victory because Democrats and Republicans put aside their difference and got something done. We have far more that we disagree with than that we agree with, but we do have to come to some agreement, because I do think there is a national security threat with the fact that we're unable to function as a government.
Speaking of things that not only the country but the world needs to come together to fight against, we were just getting the latest reports on this new Ebola outbreak. The World Health Organization now declaring it a public health emergency of international concern in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Uganda is where it's centered. What is the level of concern among members of Congress right now about this?
No, I can't speak for all of Congress and whether they're paying attention, but I do think it points out to the number one rule of foreign policy. To have a friend, you need to be one. So that matters on intel, it matters on military, it matters on our economy and how successful we are. But here's one more example. There's not a question of whether there'll be another epidemic like COVID, it's a question of when. And that interconnection, that ability for countries to work together to eradicate that is critical. Epidemics aren't likely to start within the United States, but they certainly don't stop at our borders. So when you cut CDC, when you distance yourself from all your allies through tariffs, cutting USAID, you're putting yourself in a position, the World Health Organization, eliminating ourselves from that. You're putting yourself in a position where you're acting alone and you simply don't have control of the situation. We are less safe because we are isolated, and the president's put us in that position.
Congressman, thank you for coming on this morning. Appreciate your time. Sarah?